Happy holidays and Merry Christmas to everybody. This is Super Ninja Austin back here with an SNA podcast video. This is episode 189, of the SNA podcast. And we're going to be talking about the wrestling news today, which is going to be part 73, where Super Ninja Austin is going to be talking about the wildest wrestling news stories that you SNA fans need to know from the Ringside News article on December 22nd, 2023. Starting off today with spoilers on WWE's plan for AJ Styles after his surprise return. And just for a little warning here, which I'm going to start doing in the foreseeable future, if y'all don't want to be spoiled, I would recommend you to pause this video for at least 5 minutes. At least 5 minutes to this about what we're going to talk about with AJ Styles. But anyways, without further ado, on this first on today's Ringside News wrestling news article, WWE brought a big surprise when AJ Styles returned, and he's looking jacked now. This was a long time coming, but the OC leader is certainly back in the fold. AJ Styles has made his return to WWE SmackDown after a 3-month hiatus, sparking speculation about a potential heel turn. During his comeback, Styles targeted Roman Reigns, which could be interpreted as heel, interpreted as a heel move. As a heel move, I should say. My apologies, but he also went after babyface LA Knight. Despite this actions, this might not signal a complete and definite shift to a heel persona for a long time. Top star Sean Sapp, or should I say Sean Ross Sapp, even though it only says Sean Sapp, noted behind Fightful's paywall that Corey Bennett is reporting that WWE may have some interesting plans for AJ Styles, saying sources tell Corey Brennan that as of now, the direction is for Styles to be somewhat justified in his attack of LA Knight. Another source told Fightful it's a bit of a choose your own adventure situation with Styles. As with any of these situations, creative plans can and will change. Styles is scheduled for an in-ring promo and a match on this week's episode of SmackDown. That episode was pre-recorded, and Ringside News already posted spoilers. So yeah, like I said, please, for the next few minutes, I'll recommend you to skip this video for the next, at least I would say now, I'll say 4 to 6 minutes for the longest, I should say. But we're gonna talk about AJ Styles coming back. I talking about AJ Styles coming back is a big deal for WWE as they close out a packed 2023. Next year will start with a long of momentum on the Blue brand as well, and they will close out the year on the USA Network as well. What's your take? What's your take on AJ Styles? WWE return, was it executed well? Let us know in the comments below. You don't really say much. I'll say never mind. Don't have to worry about skipping because they don't really say much. It kind of made it obvious. Like it's gonna be packed out, and he's gonna face Solo Sikoa tonight, which will be possibly the last. I don't know about live, but I'll say I'll say the active SmackDown, like before 2023, like of an episode, an actual episode of SmackDown, like the last actual episode of SmackDown tonight. And what's your thoughts? Who do you think is going to win? Which most of y'all would predict AJ Styles, just like SNA himself right here. But yeah, it could happen either way. But I think AJ Styles will get a win, send a message to Roman Reigns saying, like, just because he attacked LA Knight doesn't mean he's going after him. And he wants to challenge him in this Undisputed Championship because he saw like the likes of LA Knight and Randy Orton. He was getting a head start like by letting them know this is gonna be every man for himself. And I didn't attack Roman Reigns with the phenomenal forearm because of either Orton or Knight. He's just doing it just because his cousin Solo Sikoa took him out of action from the past couple of months, and he wants to get his revenge on him and also Roman Reigns because he obviously has unfinished business and he wants to be WWE champion again. And it looked like this is the best way for him to be champ. But I'm not sure. Like, no offense to Styles, I just don't think that he's gonna win either way. But it still be entertaining. Like, I would still like to watch the match. It's just not a spoiler like this article claimed to be, but I'm saying it like a prediction. I'm predicting that it'll be Roman Reigns. But if we did have a title change, I would expect it to be either LA Knight or Randy Orton. Right, considering they're the top stars that looks championship material enough to win and beat Roman Reigns. But it looks like they'll keep the title on him until WrestleMania 40. And whoever wins the number one contender spot against Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, they're gonna beat Roman Reigns and finally dethrone him. And when his under 4-year reign is Universal Champion. And what's y'all's thoughts on that? Do you think it's gonna be possible? Like, and do you predict like that? Do you also predict that Roman Reigns is gonna lose his title at WrestleMania 40? Let me know in the comments down below, which it's only time will tell. We're going to see when that's going to happen. But what's your thoughts on AJ Styles? Do you think he's going to make even more statement to the Tribal Chief and also not to mention to Orton and Knight? And then this is when Nick Aldis steps in and makes it a fatal 4-way match. Like, it'll be Roman Reigns versus Randy Orton versus AJ Styles versus LA Knight. Yeah. But yeah. And I think this is going to lead into LA Knight and AJ Styles start arguing with each other, saying like, no, Roman Reigns is mine. No, Roman Reigns is mine. And they start attacking each other, beating the living hell out of each other. And this is where Roman Reigns steps in and pin either man. Like, he was like, they just did an easy job by killing each other. So I'm just gonna be the predator that feasts on the leftover carcass by pinning them for easy victory. That will be my prediction. And this is where we lead this up to WrestleMania. And then it'll be LA Knight against AJ Styles. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below what you think about this prediction in theory. But let's move on to the next wrestling news. And well, you're okay. That's a little extra for you. How WWE Raw can benefit from move to Warner Bros. Let me properly say this. How WWE Raw can benefit from move to Warner Brothers Discovery. And it says WWE is the amidst of heated contract talks for their next television destination for Monday Night Raw. Just as fans were getting used to the idea of Raw possibly moving to FX, Warner Brothers Discovery entered the conversation in big way now. WWE moving to WBD seems like a real possibility. The Wrestling Observer newsletter noted that the potential move of Raw to TBS or TNT raised the prospect of a positive impact on its viewership. Given the higher ratings of these networks compared to USA, if placed on TBS, Raw could benefit from a stronger lead in count and not count courtesy courtesy of Big Bang Theory attracting a younger audience demographic. It was also noted that while AEW Dynamite performs above the average rating for TBS, the overall impact may not surpass the significant boost in ratings and cost associated with Raw's potential transition. Like Dave Meltzer had to say this on his latest Wrestling Observer News letter podcast. He said, Raw going to TBS or TNT, in theory, shouldn't hurt. Dang it, what's wrong with these ads? Anyway, sorry about that. Anyways, is that going to Raw going to either TBS or TNT, in theory, shouldn't hurt the audience and probably would help it as those stations are higher rated than USA. Raw, if put on TBS, would get a much higher lead in from Big Bang Theory than it got on USA, as well as a younger base audience. It would deliver significantly higher ratings, at a significantly higher cost, and would boost the ratings for the station as a whole significantly. So significantly, AEW Dynamite does above the average ratings for TBS, and most weeks beats what TNT would do with moves in the collision in Rampage. Time slots but would not make the overall difference. Raw would. We we will well, it says right here, like, we will have to see how this all pans out in the future. There is obviously a lot of stake, like in a ton of money out on the line as well. Only time will tell who lands Raw, but they will certainly find a buyer for the for the longest running weekly episodic television show in history. It says keep checking back with us at Ringside News for more on the story, and so many more in the pro wrestling world. You never know what will what will happen next, but it will certainly be an interesting 2024. But yeah, what's your take on this? Do you think if Raw had a TV rights deal with Warner Bros. Discovery, what's TV channel would it specifically be airing? They're airing on Monday nights. Will it be TBS or TNT? I mean, it could be either one if you ask me, but I think it'll be TBS because at this time, like, we have basketball season coming back like a couple months ago. So it's going to be mostly having basketball games coming on during the week, like Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. And yeah, like at least 5 or 6 days out of the week. But yeah, I think it'll be because of that reason, and two, that's gonna be on it too. It could be for the younger audience, like it could bring in more viewers for the younger audience that watches Monday Night Raw from more than the USA Network. Like considering they have like the Big Bang Theory It's and some other shows that comes on in a weekly base on the TBS brand channel of Warner Bros. Discovery. But we're gonna have to see if these rumors are true about WWE's trying to get a TV deal from Warner Bros. Discovery. But then again, it could be FX because they said they've been talking to them, and it was another channel that even Disney because it was FX because that's more of a mature audience like for rebellious teens like they were saying, but I don't know. I don't know where they're going to show up. Whatever deal they might get and has been confirmed, then then I will believe it when I see it. That's the only way I'll see. Like unless they made like a fine, like fish starting to negotiate, and it says that they have any final, like if it's been speculations or any breaking news from WWE himself, then I'll be expecting them to. I'll be expecting them to go to that specific channel, whether they're going to Disney, Warner Bros. Discovery, or even Paramount, like go to MTV. But I'm not sure if they'll put Monday Night Raw on MTV. So the best bet's either FX or TBS or TNT. But wherever they go, I'll still be a number one supporter for WWE, like one of the number one support in the wrestling internet community. And I'll say, like it wouldn't be much of a difference, only just they're moving channels because they've been on the USA Network for nearly 3 decades. But yeah, I'm gonna let y'all to decide and be the judge of that in the comments down below for now. And we're gonna move on to the next wrestling news, and it's Kenny Omega news. It's Kenny Omega's life hung into the balance with a 50% chance of death from severe illness. And we got some sort of unfortunate news from poor Kenny Omega. And it says, right as you heard from the title of this wrestling news wrestling news story on this article, says Kenny Omega, the reowned professional wrestler, has been sidelined indefinitely after receiving diagnosis to diverticulitis, diverticulitis. I hope I pronounced that right. But anyways, during his hospitalization, Kenny Omega shared a hospital photo on December 14th, which raised concerns about the seriousness of the condition. According to Dave Meltzer's report in the exact same episode of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Omega displayed significant pain backstage at a December 13th show in Arlington, Texas. In Arlington, Texas, after completing a promo, he was immediately admitted to the hospital where he received the diagnosis. The medical professionals informed him that his timely diagnosis was fortunate. Excuse me, my bad. I'm trying to make sure I say it correctly. Was fortunate as the situation could have escalated to a catastrophic level, potentially leading to a blood infection with a 50% chance of death. And this is what Dave Meltzer had to say at the December 13th show in Arlington, Texas. The pain was very clear backstage, and after doing his promo, ended up in the hospital where he got the diagnosis. He was told when diagnosed that he was very lucky he went in because the situation could have been catastrophic, such as getting a blood infection if he wasn't if he wasn't diagnosed at the time he was which would have something like a 50% chance of death. Tony Khan, speaking at the Ring of Honor Final Battle media scrum, revealed that Kenny Omega's illness was more severe than initially believed, stating that he didn't believe anyone fully gasped like the extent of his illness. Like difficult, I I die. Diverticulitis is characterized by inflammation caused by the development of the pouches or diverticola in the walls of the large the Lindstein or colon. Common symptoms include intense abdominal pain, nausea, and el- elevated body temperature. Like reports indicate that Omega had been feeling unwell before this match against Ethan Page. On the December 9th episode of AEW Collision, despite his condition, he still participated in the match. Omega was also scheduled to appear on the December 13th episode of AEW Dynamite, during which he was involved in a promo segment with Chris Jericho, Ricky Starks, and Big Bill. Like a big deal. Observer backstage noted that Omega did not appear to be in good health. And like what Ringside News said, I also wish and pray for a speedy recovery, for the Kenny Omega, though, so he can make it back in the ring in good health, in good shape, and no health issues or nothing wrong with his health and body whatsoever. As soon as he makes his return, but that soon may be later on. We'll be we'll be slowly and also be it's gonna be a long way to go, I should say, and hopefully it won't be too long enough so we don't miss them out of action. Let's hope there's diverticulitis is it will be, I would say, not remission, but I'll say hopefully this goes away. I'll say hopefully this goes away and you'll have no illness, no health issues whatsoever, anything in the matter. Hopefully, I pray for a speedy recovery. As me being a wrestling fan and a good person, I wish him for the best. Hopefully, he can come back and even reform the Golden Jets with Chris Jericho to finally get their opportunity for the AEW Tag Team Championship. But that we have to wait for at least a few months from now, for that to happen. Even if it does go away and it clears, it's going to be a long way to go because it seems like it's a kind of sickness that just don't go away like the next day instantly. But let's hope that it will go away sooner rather than later because we don't want to miss him. We don't want him to be out of action and us missing him. And I hopefully he's doing okay. Hopefully he's getting the treatment that he needs and the medical attentions from the doctors and nurses, in the hospital, of course, by doing some operations and some operations and doing the best they can to make sure he's in good shape and good health. But yeah, but again, for the last time, I'll wish and pray for a speedy recovery, and please don't be out of action for long, Mr. Omega. And wish you for the best. Like we're back in when you're back like from this and when you defeat diverted cultists, like, and even when you're in good shape, which continue for the best as well. But we're gonna move on to the next wrestling news, and that is we got Ted Long news now. Like as he was told that AEW isn't hiring old people, and it says right here, AEW has signed up a lot of talent, like a lot of talented people, but they may have signed enough people to consider their roster as full of a full at this point. I should say at this point. My apology. Are completely full at this point. They also may have reached their age limit because, according to Ted, like a widely recognized figure in the realism of general managers within the Stanford-based promotion, for an example, of course, has gained significant popularity. That being said, it doesn't seem that he's landing in AEW. In the latest episode of the Wrestling Time Machine show on Wrestle Binge, Teddy Long, I should say, shed light on an unfortunate encounter he had with an AEW employee. He said, or according to Ted Long, the worker from the Jacksonville-based promotion conveyed to him that AEW had a policy of not hiring individuals of advanced age. He said, "Do you and I'll say this, and I won't say who told me, but do do you know one of the guys that worked there had the nerve to walk up to me. Now I didn't ask for this and told me, oh, by the way, AEW told me to let you know that we're not hiring any old people. I swear they walked I walked up to me like uh, walk up to me out of the blue. I didn't ask for that. Who cares about I'm not asking nobody for a job there. But this is what this guy walked up and told me. AEW just linked a deal with Ric Flair, who is 74 years old, by the way. That being said, they might not be in hiring older people for full-time deals. If anything, Ted Long certainly got the impression. Teddy Long is a WWE Hall of Famer, and it appears that he won't be venturing to AEW. That being said, he still had a legendary career. He can be very proud of no matter how old he is. We will have to see what breaks next, because you never know what can happen in the pro wrestling world. That may be true, but it seems like nobody in AEW wants Ted Long there. That's the thing, though. And I believe, yeah, even though Ringside already know this, but just making that known right there. Like, because he said he's not trying to sign older wrestlers, but whoever that guy is, and if this is true, this is kind of hypocritical for AEW, because if you're not signing older, unless they're saying they're not signing over older wrestlers at that point, like, then that would be a different story. But you're saying that like at all, I was like, if that was the case, how come you signed someone like Ric Flair, even though he's going to be in the managing role first with Sting until he retires, and then probably in the middle of 2024 he's going to be managing his son-in-law Andrade El Idolo. But yeah, I'll say whoever management in AEW, he got some nerves. Like, he must have been lying. He must have been they must have been showing how much of a hypocrite they are by saying that, or even saying that because of they already have everybody in the roster that's filled up, like, and they're not signing nobody older, like, in the industry, like whether if you're like a manager or a wrestler in the wrestling business. But I'm not saying AEW and Tony Khan's necessarily hypocritical. I'm saying the management there, like somebody in management, if these claims are true, then I'll say that's either a lie or that guy's being a total hypocrite and being such a bad name, I would say. But I'm not trying to say that for the sake of being PG on this video, right? Of course, because this is a PG-rated product, even though it's not like only for kids, but it's a family podcast, I should say. So I cannot say the words what this guy backstage said. When his management told Ted Long that, but he don't have to worry about that. And he didn't even he's not even asked can he have a job there, let alone even having future ideas of being on the All Elite promotion. Even though he don't have nothing against it, but it's just not for him. He's more of like looking like a WWE mainstay. If he's gonna make any kind of wrestling appearances, it's gonna be like a return for WWE, like a one-off appearance, like when they're having one of their special occasional events, like a anniversary show or some kind of a Hall of Fame induction, like if he's inducting somebody from the Hall of Fame, or even or even his birthday, or even celebrating his birthday, or even becoming a in-ring wrestling manager on WWE. But even if he does come back in the world of professional wrestling, like expect him to be the very last wrestling personality to be All Elite, and also. And expect him to be a forever mainstay in World Wrestling Entertainment, the Stanford-based promotion, like you want to call it that nickname. But yeah, he's gonna be a mainstay, like someone like his favorite wrestler in the world. They always have the heel wrestlers wrestle, and this time is a SmackDown GM saying The Undertaker, player. But anyways, let's move on to the next wrestling news, and it is. MJF rejects notion of being a locker room leader in AEW. And it says MJF has been taught, or not taught, not say taught, my bad, been touted like as one of the defining heels of the current generation of professional wrestling. And it is not hard to understand why he is also the AEW World Champion, but that doesn't mean he considers himself a locker room leader, like in AEW, of course. As previously reported, MJF was legitimately injured after AEW Full Gear. It was noted that he suffered this dislocated hip, and his shoulder was banged up as well. In addition to what MJF has been working through a torn labrum injury, the Salt of the Earth has been leading the charge in the company for a while now, as he has been showing the world how one should act as the fact of AEW. Like naturally, many fans feel he is already a locker room leader in AEW. While speaking to the SI Media podcast with Jimmy Traina, MJF was asked if he considers like himself to be a locker room leader. The AEW World Champion made it clear he doesn't consider himself a locker room leader in AEW. He said, "Do I consider myself a locker room leader? No. When I think of locker room leaders, I think of people who are unabashedly willing to stand in front of the entire locker room and with verbal boast, like say, what we here's what we need to do." When I think of that, I think of guys like Bryan Danielson, like Moxley, Eddie Kingston, like Dax Harwood, like Chris Jericho. Even like these are the guys who are not afraid to stand in front of everybody and say, "Hey, this is the way it's meant to be done." And and when I say that, I mean that in a positive light. I don't feel like it's my place to do that, but I am more, and I do give advice when I'm asked for it, and I'm frankly asked for it like a lot. But I'm not afraid to give advice because I know I've earned the right to do so. But no, I wouldn't consider myself a locker room leader. We will have to wait and see whether MJF will be ready in time for the World's End pay-per-view on December 30th, where he will defend his AEW World Championship against Samoa Joe. And do you agree with MJF? Like he don't consider himself a locker room leader, like just because he don't stand in front of anybody, no matter who it is. Like someone like a Chris Jericho, a Dax Harwood, a Eddie Kingston, a John Moxley, a Bryan Danielson, like pretty much all these guys that he named, like that stand up like a leader into in a wrestling revolution, I should say. Like, well, I think he's right, and plus he's still young at the age of 27. So I wouldn't say he's completely a locker room leader, at least not yet. Despite being AEW World Champion, he's got a lot more to learn, anyways, as being a locker room leader, even if he wanted to be one. Like, but he's not quite there yet. Just saying, like when you get more into a legendary status, and then you start making sure everything is in order, like everything's in a balance, like if everybody getting along, like inside in the locker room, and see what needs to be done in the business, like when it comes to being in the ring or even out of the ring, like the likes of The Undertaker being known as the locker room leader from the past 30 years in WWE. And also, not to mention, now Randy Orton's been taking that role in WWE ever since The Undertaker retired. With him giving advice to the younger guys and the new guys in the industry, and make them a very successful wrestler for a long time, like the guys like him and The Undertaker. Like with him wrestling for over 20 years and The Undertaker for over 30. Like he gave out some very impressive advice in the past, which we'll talk about that soonly in another video. But what do you agree with MJF, or do you think he really is a locker room leader and he's just being humble about the situation? like because one, considering he's a babyface, and two, he's seen like everything in reality, like in the professional wrestling, he's not quite there yet, and he would love to be there, but he's got to give credit and be humble and give that term to someone like Moxley or Jericho or Danielson, Eddie Kingston, and or even who was the other? It was who else he said named John Moxley, Eddie Kingston, Chris Jericho, Bryan Danielson. But yeah, like all those names basically. Yeah, let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. We're going to move on to the next one, and it is some CM Punk news with his attorneys. Well, with his attorney sets the record state on an NDA duration after AEW All Out in 2022 Brawl, and it said the media scrum following AEW All Out 2022 event ended up in turmoil after CM Punk unleashed a scratched attack on Colt Cabana, then Hangman Adam Page, and the Young Bucks, verbally lashing out at all parties involved. This incident caused significant damage to CM Punk's reputation and the repercussion I have been felt throughout AEW since then. That being said, Punk's attorney has finally revealed the length of his NDA after the AEW All Out Brawl. Ace Steel was fired from AEW when he was a part of the Brawl Out last year, where he allegedly bit Kenny Omega. That's probably where he got the sickness from. Okay, no, I'm just kidding. I cannot make no jokes like that. That's very insensitive, even for making a small, tiny joke. So I'm forget that perish the thought. But anyways, on the arm, bit Kenny Omega on the arm, during the Brawl Out, he was brought back and had been working remotely following CM Punk's return as well. He got fired again shortly after CM Punk's AEW firing as well. CM Punk and Ace Steel's attorney is Stefan P. New, who recently expressed his approval of working with Punk and Steel. In case you didn't know, he is also Jim Cornette's lawyer as well. Wow, what? This guy is also Jim Cornette's lawyer, CM Punk's lawyer? I did not know that. What? But anyways, while speaking on Wrestling with Rip Rogers, Stefan P. New commented on Brawl Out and NDAs attached to everyone. The attorney was asked if the NDAs were for life, to which he simply said yes. Ace Steel also gave his unwavering support to CM Punk after his WWE return. Regardless, AEW All Out forever marked the slow descent descent of the company for many reasons, something that the company is still trying to recover from. What's your opinion on? Well, okay, let me also say this for myself. What's y'all's opinion on this on this on this term, like with like and what you thought about this being the lawyer of CM Punk and also Jim Cornette's lawyer as well, responded with a very less hesitant yes. Let me know in the comments down below. And do you think that it all happened? And do you think that answers everybody's question when it comes to the brawl out topic about between CM Punk and his trainer Ace Steel again fighting Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks backstage into that media scrum for after All Out 2022 on their pay-per-view back in September of that year. Which, yeah, CM Punk got into a brawling altercation with Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks by starting off with, taking shots at the likes of Colt Cabana and Hangman Adam Page, calling them a little drunken F word, and then even insulted the Young Bucks by calling them very irresponsible EVPs that couldn't even run a target, and then even called MJF a little prick. But this is where it offended the Elite. This is where he went into his locker room. This is where he took this as a threat, and he started throwing fists at them. This is where they started throwing fists back at him. This is where Ace Steel saw this, and he started fighting and biting Kenny Omega in the arm, and then started to throw chairs, and he landed right into Nick Jackson's face. This is where they started continuing to fight each other, beating the living daylights out of each other into the backstage brawl. Not trying to do a recap, but just saying for those who've been living under a rock for the past year or two, like over a year or two, like a year and a half or 2 years, but at least over that, or maybe even over than 2 years. But yeah, let me know in the comments. Yeah, Ace still sends his former trainee CM Punk, or more like his current trainee, or say remotely trainee CM Punk, in with his return in WWE, still having a better life in his career, like as a professional wrestler, like alone. And it looks like he will have his first match in WWE since his return, but it'll be in a house show in Madison Square Garden in December 26th, which will be against Dirty Dominic Mysterio, which he wanted to punch him in his ugly looking face, or more like stupid. He said his stupid little face since he was 8 years old. But I'll say I prefer him. I'll say he needs to get his face punched ever since he turned on his dad when he was still 25 years old. But now he's 26. He possibly going to be 27 as soon as 2024 comes around. But yeah, let's see what's going to happen next with CM Punk as he returns to WWE ever since Survivor Series a month ago. But yeah, we're going to move on to the next wrestling news, and it is the host for WWE Raw December 25th Christmas special episode unveiled, and it says right here, WWE is giving their talent a break from the road for Christmas. Monday is Christmas Day, but they are not running a live show. Instead, they will air a best of Raw, and now we know the host of that show. WWE is set to present a compilation of highlights from 2023 on this Monday's Raw. Coinciding with Christmas Day, hosting the event will be Jackie Redmond and Peter Rosenberg. TV Insider noted that Jackie Redmond and Peter Rosenberg will host the big holiday show. We will have to see what if they have any exclusive update during any exclusive updates during the show. But what's your thoughts on that with the with the occasional with the occasional commentator on the kickoff show on WWE's Premium Live event, Peter Rosenberg, and the ESPN commentator like being a part with the backstage Raw reporter Jackie Redmond. What's your thoughts on that? And do you think this is gonna be a very entertaining Best of Raw? Which I'm not sure I'm gonna even watch it because it's not gonna be no matches on the card. They're gonna talk about what was the best matches. I was like, unless there was some kind of an award, then I will probably will watch it. But then again, I should skip it. But we're gonna see what's the case may be. But if it's just about the Best of Raw, like we already know, we already talked about this like about 100 times on what's the best matches of WWE in 2023. Like it's the likes of Cody Rhodes against Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 39, of course, at night 2, and then it's Sami Zayn against Roman Reigns at the Elimination Chambers for the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship. And it's the Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair match for the SmackDown Women's Championship at WrestleMania 39 at night 1. And the main event of night 1, WrestleMania 39, with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn taking on the Usos for the Undisputed Tag Team Championship, excuse me. And Gunther and Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre in a triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania 39 night 2. And we also have Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn defend their undisputed tag team championships against Solo Sikoa and Roman Reigns for the tag team championship, and even the tribal combat match, like which was the or was it the Bloodline of Civil War match? I mean, which the Usos won with Jey Uso getting the pin over Roman, and the Survivor Series War Games match as well. All those are like contenders of the best matches of 2023 in WWE overall. But we're gonna move on to the next one. But yeah, hopefully, and yeah, once again, I hope we all have a very safe and fun and a wonderful Merry Christmas, and hopefully y'all have a very fun time of the holiday. But let's move on to the next wrestling news, and that is some Matt Riddle news, as he's not shocked by CM Punk's return to WWE. It says CM Punk's return to WWE got everyone talking, and they've made a ton of money as well. Now, even former WWE superstar can understand why this worked out like as a big investment. That paid off. Matt Riddle recently shared thoughts on CM Punk's to WWE. Like the two kept missing each other in the UFC, and now in WWE, their paths seemed to have avoided direct confrontation until now. That won't stop Riddle from commenting on CM Punk's return. Matt Riddle and UFC had a notably public falling out, like marked a Dana White's strong words, like labeling Riddle a effing moron following a second drug test failure related to cannabis. On the other hand, Punk's departure from WWE in 2014 was marked by a highly public publicity rift, but over time enough bridges were mended from CM Punk to make a surprising return to the wrestling giant. Well, speaking on the MMA junkie, this is what Matt Riddle had to say. Say, like, when questions about CM Punk's return, like, but yeah, oh yeah, my bad. Like, yeah, it's like Matt Riddle provided his perspective of this significant development by saying, "I'm not surprised because WWE they like money, and CM Punk is money, just like he was money in mixed martial arts. Like you can't argue with a man that is money. That's like with UFC. I know if I fight, I'll sell like tickets. Like it's just if they want it. Matt Riddle and CM Punk won't get a chance to mix it up in WWE unless something changes about their current employment situation. Like it is also not a shocker for Riddle to see Punk return, but only time will tell. Like if he if he ever joined him. Well, what's your thoughts on Matt Riddle not being surprised of CM Punk, of him like for the fact that he's money, like and they like to make a lot of money, like despite of him being a previous enemy from his first run in WWE, they'll be thinking like, you know what, like two reasons, like one, he he's changed and we want to be the same way, like because like what Triple H said on that media scrum, like he's like if you're gonna be acting like the same person and have a grudge on somebody like 10 years later, then there's really something wrong with you. Like, which that's the truth. Like people are gonna change and there's gonna be bygones and apologies and making up. Like, so what's the point of still having that grudge on somebody like that you despised? Unless they're still acting like they were like decades in the past. But anyways, what's your thoughts of Matt Riddle thinking that like they got a lot of money to make, and he would love to face CM Punk, but unfortunately, he got released by WWE back 2 months ago with the TKO Group Holdings, like with the merger of UFC and WWE, are now going to be the companies that's going to be owned by Endeavor, which is the parenting company of both promotions. And what's your thoughts on And then it's been noted that Matt Riddle is going to make his MLW debut soon because they've been hyping him up on hype videos about like he could possibly be on the Major League Wrestling promotion as soon as his non-compete clause expires, which they start advertising that as soon as it did, like a day ago, which we could see him wrestle for Major League Wrestling and even become a big star. Maybe this could help him reinvent himself and stay out of trouble and overcome his issues, and then he can get signed back to WWE. Hopefully, it won't be for long because I hope I could see the RK Bro again, like RK Bro and them teaming is a tag team again. But I'm not sure if that will happen for the fact that Riddle's no longer there. And it had to be 2 months before Orton made his return at Survivor Series. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below. And will we see the Chicago-made star facing the original Bro one day on WWE ever again, or do you think that it won't happen and it's a dream match that's a shame that will never happen in reality? Let me know in the comments down below on what you think about this wrestling news. Up next, we got some WWE MSG event gets 5,000 more tickets like sales like after CM Punk match announced or after CM Punk's match announcement. Make it full proper with the mint into announce. Let me read that. WWE MSG event gets 5,000 more ticket sales after CM Punk match announcement. It says a new update on the ticket sales for the upcoming WWE events, has shown like a positive trend, especially for the Madison Square Garden show, where WWE will be marking return, like the 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 in ring appearance of CM Punk has has have aroused more excitement for fans. After the announcement of Dominic Mysterio versus CM Punk, ticket sales have skyrocketed. Per as per the figures reported by the Wrestling Observer newsletter, the December 26th show now stands at 14,884 tickets been sold. Meanwhile, WWE has confirmed that sales of 30,000 tickets, respectively, for the Royal Rumble on January 27th and the Elimination Chamber on February 24th. For more recent shows, a Baltimore event set to take place on December 26th, like has two 4,574 tickets sold. A show in Detroit on SmackDown or not Smack on December 27th, has has recorded a sale of 6,545 tickets so far. Like other ticket sales are follows. It goes are as follows. Here's the here's the, okay. Let's just dang it. Let me go back and do this. Sorry about that. I got rudely interrupted with my phone. There was really nothing. Let's continue. But yeah, it's announced that CM Punk will face Dirty Dominic Mysterio on December 26th. It at Madison Square Garden in New York City, for the holiday tour. And do you think CM Punk's going to get a victory over the former NXT North American Championship? Let me know in the comments down below. And here's the ticket sales right here, right on top, in the middle. Sorry about the ads in the background, but yeah, this is the best way I could get a good view of it. It says in Laval, Quebec, Canada, live show on December 28th, which is 70,999 tickets. In Houston, Texas, live show on December 28th, 6,500 and eight tickets. It says Toronto, Ontario, Canada, live on December 29th. The 7,725 tickets. Las Vegas, Nevada, live event on December 29th, 585 tickets. Los Angeles, California on December 30th, 11,957 tickets. And San Diego, California, Raw Day 1, which is one, which I would say it says day one, which is 10,151 tickets that almost sold out. Like SmackDown in Vancouver, like Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, on January 5th, November 2024. Like we'll see 12,822 tickets been sold. And when we talk about those ticket numbers, and do you think CM Punk's gonna win? Do you think that all those shows are gonna be really great shows? And when those match happens, like what's y'all's opinion on when the next time we talk about this in the wrestling news? Y'all let me know in the comments down below. But we're gonna move on to the next wrestling news, and that is we got Ric Flair discloses emotional toll like on Charlotte Flair after unfortunate injury. It says right here onto this article, Charlotte Flair is the queen of WWE, who is considered one of the greatest in-ring competition, great in-ring competitors in the history of WWE. Unfortunately, she is out of action due to a knee injury and won't be back for a very long time. Now, Ric Flair has commented on his daughter's injury. On the December 8th episode of WWE SmackDown, Charlotte Flair squared off against Asuka in a solid match with Damage Control present ringside. The match could have gone either way. That said, the Queen lost to the Empress of Tomorrow after Bayley interfered in the match. What followed raised concerns among fans and WWE talent alike. Like reports stated, like circulating that Charlotte Flair might have sustained an injury during the match in a distressing moment. She was seen clutching uh, clutching her knee and crying out, "My knee!" Like medical personnel, I should say, rushed to her side after the match, making fans genuinely worried about her well-being. During WWE SmackDown last week, it was revealed that Charlotte Flair will be out of action for 9 months. While speaking to the wrestling classic, Ric Flair talked about Charlotte Flair's injury and revealed that his daughter was stressed out due to the injury. He said, "I told her she'll come back from this injury. It stressed her out, but because she hasn't been hurt in a long time, but she's so muscled up, and I mean through she'll come through the surgery, and 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 it will- and they'll put like some stem cells in her, and she'll come back, and it'll be the greatest storyline of all time. She and Bailey and Io, like in all those guys, like in Oscars and Oscar, I'm not Oscars, Oscar. I mean, and there are more people for her to still wrestle. She's got so much going on for her. Charlotte Flair might have suffered a additional additional injuries due to the unfortunate botch as well. We will have to see. We have to wait and see how the landscape of WWE will change. Like now that now that fans, I mean, now that Flair will be away for a very long time. And yeah, I want to wish and pray for a speedy, fast, and full recovery for Charlotte Flair as well, with his latest injury from 2 weeks ago with SmackDown when Charlotte took on Asuka on the Tribute to the Troops edition of SmackDown, with her trying to go for a suplex off of Asuka on the top rope, which they fell right off the top, and this is where Charlotte landed her right ACL right onto the ropes. Man, it looks like it's going to be torn. She's going to be out of action for 9 months. Hopefully, it'll be less than that. But even if I'll say, for being 9 months, it's still going to be, she's going to be out of action, even passing probably a SummerSlam, I should say. Yeah. And she'll be back probably by the late September for the latest, or not the earliest, I should say, according to this report. It's going to be more like the earliest may be the end of September. But yeah, what's your thoughts? When do you think it's gonna come back? And I would recommend you guys to send y'all's well wishes and prayers to the Queen of WWE at this unfortunate time with her and her injury. I'll say both her and Kenny onto this video. Give a moment of respect to the Cleaner and the Queen of Flares and the former multi-time WWE Women's Champion and the former AEW Champion. But yeah, let's move on to the next wrestling news. This is the final one. And we're going to end today's video with more Ric Flair news as he hypes new Woo coin with promo video saying right here onto this article, Ric Flair has been involved in many crossover promotional deals. He's made bank in the marijuana industry, energy drinks, and tons of merchandise. Now he's got another opportunity to fans who want to invest in cryptocurrency. Ric Flair dropped a promo video on X today, but it had nothing to do with pro wrestling. Instead, he was plugging a new cryptocurrency that had his own likeness attached. Ric Flair also invented fans to join the community on Telegram and get on the whitelist, so the offer is on the table for anyone willing to jump into to this endeavor with the Nature Boy, the Nature Boy. He said, Woo coin. There is only one true Woo. Getting it on the hottest crypto projects on the projects of the year. Whitelist is now open. Ric Flair's promo on the cryptocurrency makes it very clear that he's still more than ready to hype anything, especially if he can get paid. It appears that he's still in good spirits as well and ready to take a sponsorship deal. And it says right here, this is quite an interesting development. And now Ric Flair is in cryptocurrency. We will have to see what happens in the situation as he continues spreading out his investments. And here's the video of it right here. Yeah.
Live the life. Are you ready for the crypto phenomena? Buy WooCoin today with 5 O's and then begin to style and profile. Walk on out. Be custom made. Fly in crypto Learjets. Live the life of the king like the nature boy. WooCoin, 5 O's. Live the crypto phenomena. Woo!
What's your thoughts on that? Does that convince you of buying crypto today and joining the community of the WooCoin or WooCoin, I should say, with 5 O's, by the way? Make sure I remember that. Like y'all should remember that. Like as wrestling fans, like for a recommendation, if you want to be over the extreme about the matter. But that kind of convinced me in a way because, yeah, let's say I've been trying to invest on stocks lately, and I'm trying to figure out what kind of stocks I should be investing on. Which I'm thinking about investing on WooCoin when that time comes. Like if I can find the WooCoin, I'm gonna start considering of investing on that. Perhaps I'll be getting more. Perhaps I'll be getting my stocks getting higher and higher, and then I get very financially successful, along with acorns. Like I'm gonna start taking these legendary wrestlers' advice, even if they wasn't wrestlers and they were like celebrities, like in general, without the wrestling business, without being in the wrestling business. Like they were actors or comedians or any other sports athletes. Like if they were basketball players or football players, I still would take their advice. Like you know what? Like if they're trying to help those that are interested into the stock market and trying to make a very good amount of Waddle cash, I'll say why not join and start investing, like because like you know what could be for your present, your future, or anything in your lifetime in the foreseeable future. So we might as well just do so. Like you might as well start. Like if you're very interested, for those who are interested, you don't have to unless you want to. Like if you want, I'll recommend you to do it anytime when you're ready to do so. So I'm gonna let y'all to be the judge of that in the comments down below. And I'm gonna say a huge congratulations to the Nature Boy of being continue being the king of styling and profiling. And y'all could be the king of styling and profiling too if you decide to join WooCoin, which I need to find that stock right now and start doing it myself as well and make some good amount of Wallow cash. Cause I only need some cash regardless, like whether if it's special occasion or for a living or anything of the matter at the moment. So I really need that myself. Like hopefully it's a success. Hopefully like it won't be a failure, which it seems like that's likely the case. Like it's going to be successful, and obviously this is not a scam because if it was, he wouldn't make a video about this like in live video footage without any special effects or AI whatsoever. It's him in person, like at one of his condos, perhaps, like making a video to let him know this is the legit. Like, and if you want to make money, you go and do that by joining WooCoin on cryptocurrency, which I'm starting to do cryptocurrency, but I just need to continue to be on that in order to be successful at it. Like, but yeah, but I'm gonna give you that recommendation because it looks very convincing and no scams at all and no any I know any what's that word and no, nothing, and it's not going to make you worse than you were before in your middle position, like into when it comes to finances, of course, I should say as well. But I'm gonna let y'all see what y'all think about this. Like for those who wants to join, and if y'all join WooCoin, let me know in the comments down below. I will be here in the wrestling news talking about anything more about wrestling, like be here, and even some wrestling reviews, which I'm trying to work on, trying to do this educational content with my uncle, which is going to be about solar systems and electric cars, which that's going to be later in the futures down the line. And then we also have, but for now, we're going to be doing these wrestling content until I start getting more upgraded to that point. But for now, like I'm gonna keep doing this. But yeah, that was the end of your video of the latest wrestling news stories and rumors that you SNA fans need to know from the Ringside News article on December 22nd, 2022. 20 episode 189. 189, yeah, 189 of the SNA podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed this. And if you did, please leave a huge thumbs up, comment down below, subscribe, click the bell notification so you can be the first guys to know, to notify when I upload the latest new video. And I want to rephrase that, like it's the wildest wrestling news stories and rumors that you SNA fans need to know on December 22nd, 2023. Like, what was your thoughts on this? And do you think that it's and do you think, or do you think it was very interesting for today on Friday? And what's your thoughts on from today's wrestling news video? Which one was your favorite out of this list? Let me know down in the comments down below. And also, comment down below, subscribe, click the bell notifications as well. Like I said, I've been your host, Super Ninja Austin, on this 189th episode of the SNA podcast. Make sure to check out episode 190 and 191, which will be AEW Dynamite, or not Dynamite, WWE SmackDown review and AEW Rampage review, which will be part 19. It's already scheduled on here on YouTube, so make sure to give a big thumbs up or comment what you think about what's gonna happen, what's gonna go down on tonight's Friday Night SmackDown and AEW Rampage, which we kind of already gave a few spoilers on Rampage, but I do this anyways because since I'm doing the other shows like for AEW and WWE, I might as well do that one just to make it fair and even the odds, like with 3 shows from AEW, 3 shows on WWE. But yeah, hopefully y'all have a great Friday afternoon, and I'll see you all later tonight on the two holiday editions of Friday Night SmackDown and AEW Rampage on this lovely and season's greeting holiday, I should say. Hopefully I got it right, but I'm going to see you all later on this evening. Until we meet again, Super Ninja Austin, the assassin, is out. Bye-bye, my SNA fans and friends, and see you this evening. Merry Christmas and a happy holiday.